In July 2026, a political movement named after a household pest forced one of the most powerful men in the Indian cabinet to resign. Millions of medical aspirants saw their futures derailed when massive paper leaks compromised the 2026 NEET UG examination. The crisis deepened when technical discrepancies surfaced in the CBSE's on-screen marking system, eroding student trust in the standardized testing process. Students initially followed the standard playbook for grievances. They filed petitions, tagged officials on social media, and organized peaceful appeals. The Ministry of Education met these efforts with silence. When a government ignores millions of young voters, a localized exam dispute metastasizes. This institutional deafness took an administrative failure and escalated it into a national crisis. The failure of traditional communication channels created a vacuum. To fill it, students abandoned polite petitions and deployed an aggressive digital-first strategy. In May 2026, digital strategist Abhijit Dipke launched the Cockroach Janta Party, or CJP. This chart illustrates the CJP's core mechanism, a strategy of satirical insurgency. By using sarcasm and viral memes, the movement bypassed traditional media gatekeepers and connected with the frustration of Gen Z students, turning internet engagement into physical mobilization. On June 6th, this digital energy hit the streets of New Delhi. The CJP merged its online reach with the logistical muscle of established student unions, like the SFI, ISA, and AISF, creating a massive ground coalition. On June 28th, renowned educator Sonam Wangchuk joined the protest at Jantar Mantar. His indefinite hunger strike injected the movement with significant moral weight, forcing mainstream media networks to cover the crisis. Authorities struggled to contain this hybrid model. There was no single leader to arrest and no central headquarters to raid. The network operated across decentralized digital platforms and physical encampments. This coordination merged internet culture with the logistical precision of grassroots labor organizing. The breaking point arrived on July 20th. Thousands of protesters abandoned designated demonstration zones and initiated a direct march on Parliament House. The state's physical containment failed as protesters broke through police barricades, leading to a response of tear gas and lathi charges. The government immediately deployed countermeasures to choke off reinforcements. Mobile internet services across parts of Delhi went dark, and metro stations surrounding the protest zones were abruptly locked down. By July 23rd, the Delhi Lieutenant Governor granted police the power to invoke the National Security Act, allowing for the preventive detention of protesters. Applying anti-terrorism laws to angry students backfired. It framed the protesters as martyrs and provided an opening for political heavyweights like Rahul Gandhi to demand the education minister's resignation. When a state treats students as national security threats, it signals that the protest has successfully threatened the underlying stability of the government. On July 25th, the government capitulated. Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan submitted his formal resignation to the Prime Minister, making him the individual most associated with the administration's failure. Along with the resignation came immediate concessions. The government canceled the compromised NEET examination and handed the entire investigation over to the CBI. This global volatility heat map shows India rising to the top of the Civil Unrest Index. According to data from risk analysis firm Verisk Maplecroft, the bar chart here highlights that the frequency of protests nationwide has doubled over the last year. A decentralized, Gen Z-led coalition achieved policy reversals and a cabinet resignation at a speed that traditional opposition parties had failed to match for years. This entire event operated as a stress test for the 2029 general elections. It confirmed that youth dissatisfaction over employment and education is a volatile, decisive political force. The movement began with a single exam leak and concluded by demonstrating that decentralized digital networks can now neutralize the government's traditional methods of control.